Hello and welcome to another coding specs tutorial on Tkinter. As the title of the video suggests, today we will look at the Combobox. This is none other than an input widget which allows us to select items from a drop-down list. As we've been doing now for the last few tutorials, we will first look at the output in our GUI and see what it does, and then look at the code which underlies the GUI. Now, as you can see in our window here, we have a label which says please select a month, and underneath it we have a drop-down menu which, if we click on it, gives us all the months in the year. If we click on one, for example August, we have a message box show info widget which appears and tells us that we've selected August. As usual, if we click OK and then select a different month, for example June, the same widget will appear this time and say you selected June. Now this Combobox widget can be particularly useful when giving our user a particular list of items amongst which they need to choose a single one. In this case they would choose, for example, the month if they were inputting, for example, their birth date. Now going back to the code which underlies this root window, we can see that again in the top lines we've imported our Tkinter, our TTK sublibrary from the Tkinter library, and then a list of months called month name from another sublibrary called calendar. Then from line 5 to line 14 we are as usual defining our root window, so I'll skip through that. And then in line 16 and 17 we are creating our label please select a month and packing it within the window, so nothing new so far. Then here is where our Combobox comes in. In line 19 we are defining a selected month string variable within the Tkinter framework, and then in line 20 we are generating the Combobox itself. Of course, we say that this Combobox should pertain to the root window, and then say that the text variable will be our selected month string variable. Finally, we also say that the state is read-only. That means that the user can only select one of the inputs from the drop-down menu and cannot edit them or indeed include their own. With regards to the state, should you instead wish to give the user the possibility of editing the list or adding their own custom inputs, then you would say that the state is equal to normal. Moving on, we have that in line 22 we assign the values to the Combobox. What this means is we are assigning the default list of values which will appear when we click on the Combobox. In this case we are giving it the list of all the months in the year. Then as usual in line 24 we need to pack the Combobox within our window. In this case, we say that it should fill the X direction entirely and give it a padding of 5 in both the X and Y direction. Finally, we write a small custom function which will generate the message box show info widget. And finally, we bind this function to the Combobox, which means that any time we select a value from the Combobox, this function will be called. Of course, last but not least, in line 31, we run the main loop of our root window. Now, as usual, let's review once more what the output of this code is, and we return to our window by seeing that we now have a please select a month label above, and then below we have a Combobox with a specific set of variables which we cannot edit or indeed add anything to, and every time we select one of these variables, for example April, we have a message box which appears and says that we've selected a particular month, in this case April. Now with that, I thank you for watching today's video, and I look forward to seeing you next week for a new one. Until then, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as well as check out my previous tutorials, which you can find linked in the top right hand corner of your screen and in the description down below. I also strongly encourage you to put your coding skills to the test with my Python challenges. Having said that, all that's left for me to say is have a great week, And until next time, happy coding!